What it do, what it do? What it do, what it do?
Hello, 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 hello. What it do? 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 What it do?
What it do, what it do?
What it do? What it do?
What it do, what it do?
What it do? What it do?
What it do, what it do?
What it do? What it do?
What it do, what it do?
How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody is feeling okay. Doing okay. Feeling strong, huh? Ready to face the day. Good. 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 Well, I really have nothing planned for you guys today. We're just gonna hang out. We're just gonna hang out and talk shit like we usually do. Feeling a little too antsy to play any video games today. I've got a lot of just kind of I don't know how to put it. Got a lot of angsty energy today. So me and the guys just finished doing Flash Fried about a half hour ago or so. So that should be going up relatively soon. If it's not up already, it might be. It might be indeed. You're shooting a skate video? Cool. You have a premonition of a fat guy? Rumors of a fat man. Is this Skyrim music? No, it's just some royalty-free classical music. I had 3 or 4 dreams last night. One of them was about Karl Marx having a girlfriend. She said something like, I don't care if you want to overthrow the bourgeoisie. I just want to take this boat trip. Damn. Even Karl Marx had the problems that we have. You know? Direct connection to modern problems. Yeah, I saw the teaser. I'm incapable of getting excited for Fallout games anymore. It's a sad but true byproduct of just how many of them there've been, and how they have slowly but surely kind of lost sight of what Fallout was about in favor of just, you know, a first-person shooter set in the Fallout universe. You know, I don't know. Just kind of tired of it. But whatever. I know people are probably pretty stoked about it. A lot of people are still really into it. But, yeah, not me. So it's going to be a clone of that game, Rust. So that game, as I remember it, is just kind of like an open world kind of survival game where you create a base and then people can come and break into your base and shit. That doesn't sound very much like Fallout at all. That doesn't sound very fun at all. That's a rumor. Okay. Well, I guess we'll wait and see what happens. What's the best meat at Chipotle? I don't know. The only one I don't really like is the pulled pork or whatever, carnitas. That I can do without, but the steak is pretty good. The barbacoa is pretty good. The chicken's pretty good, and well, I guess it's not technically meat, but their sofritas is pretty good too. TBH, I don't mind if a game isn't true to the original formula as long as it's well done. All right, well, I mean, usually it wouldn't matter to me, but in a game like Fallout, you gotta have a core. You gotta have something that you're referring back to. And I don't know. I haven't played Fallout 4, but I've heard enough about it to know that I'd hate it. The base building thing, immediately after I saw that announced, I was like, well, I don't want to play this game. I don't want to do this base building bullshit. I've been down this road before in video games, and it ain't my favorite thing to do. Doesn't feel like a Fallout thing, you know. Fallout has always been about exploring the wasteland and bumping into all the crazy characters and crazy side quests and, going into the ruins of humanity and trying to find relics and, things that'll help you in your journey. I mean, that's always been Fallout. Fallout's always been about the wandering character. And I think having these characters set up bases just defeats it. Just defeats it. You're no longer the wandering character if you're just setting up a base. It's not mandatory. I mean, that's not what I hear. I hear, if you want to play Fallout 4, you've pretty much got to participate in the fucking city defense bullshit. You probably won't read this, but you should watch Legion. It'll blow your mind. It's Marvel, but it's not. Okay, well, I'll check it out, I guess. Well, I mean, look, if people had fun with the base building, that's fine. The idea of it just makes me angry. Set up a few turrets, but you can mostly avoid the whole thing. Then why is it in the fucking game? So that's the thing too. It's like Fallout is always one of those games you want to experience the most of. You want to talk to the most people. You want to complete most of the side quests. I at least have that draw for those types of games. Starting with Fallout 1. You want to go back through and experience what you haven't experienced. Why would they just add this totally un-Fallout thing to the game? Waste their development time. Like, think if they took all of the developers and all of the money and all of the time that was spent making this stupid fucking bullshit base building mini game and just poured it back into making the game world better, making the NPCs more memorable and likable, making the weapons sound better, feel better, making the power armor sub game not as fucking tedious and bullshit. You know what I mean? That's another thing that bothers me about 4, from what people have said. Power armor is super duper fucking like you find it everywhere. Like that's another thing. Like power armor in Fallout in the universe is reserved for just a very few elite people. And it's incredibly hard to get and, hard to learn how to use. I mean, that's part of the game. And now they've just made it like, nope, power armor just drops off of normal shit. Constantly dropping power armor. Yeah, you get it within the first 30 minutes of the game. That's retarded. I don't know. Whatever, though. Could have spent it on the world design. Yep. Could have spent it on, any number of things that would have polished out the game better. I mean, look, the thing like I said, I haven't played Fallout 4, but the thing I like about it, one of the things I like about it, I think the opening sequence is pretty cool. The mad dash to the vault and then the big explosion over your shoulder as you're lowered into the vault. I think that's a really, really cool way to open a Fallout game. Gives us a peek at something we've never really gotten a decent look at. The actual war as it started, A little peek at the the society of Fallout prior to the war too. That's kind of cool. But from what I hear about the rest of the game, not so cool. The reason you can use power, I don't care. I don't care what excuse they came up with in the game to make power armor super fucking easy to use and something that you find everywhere. It ruins the whole idea of getting power armor. Like in Fallout, in the previous Fallout games, you had to build your character as a character that was going to use power armor. And you had to go through crazy quest lines and stuff and collect it piece by piece. And, it was made to feel like a huge jump in power for your character, because it is. I don't care what fucking story, plot point that they pulled out of their asses to justify power armor being just littering the ground everywhere you fucking go. It ruins part of the game. Yeah, we cover the Roseanne story on Flash Fried today pretty extensively. A couple of different angles on it, but I don't know, man. My basic feelings on it. I talked about it in my stream yesterday, but I don't think that there's a freedom of speech issue here. I think Roseanne was unconscionably stupid to say what she said. I think ABC has every right to fire her for being a fucking stupid piece of shit. Like, I'm not gonna hold a gun to ABC's head and tell them to keep platforming Roseanne. Like, they're a private company. They can put on whoever they want to put on. And quite frankly, in this day and age, as sensitive as people are and as big of a corporation as ABC is, I don't blame them for not wanting to be associated with racist bullshit. We live in a time where that shit is called out quicker and more vociferously than any time in history. So, I wouldn't want to be an ABC exec staring at a pile of hate mail talking about how I platform a racist for money. Fuck that. Totally understand their fucking firing of her. Don't care that she was fired. I don't think it's an infringement of her freedom of speech that ABC pulled the platform out from underneath her. She's still got the ability to go to Twitter and call Valerie Jarrett a fucking ape if she wants. Just not as an employee of the American Broadcasting Company. I'm fine with that. Yeah, she blamed Ambien. She was Ambien tweeting. And when I take Ambien, I have just this racist streak that comes out. Sorry, I was taking Ambien. I've got this racist streak that comes out when I take Ambien. Alright. You gotta love it, dude. You gotta love her, evolving rationale, too. At first, she seemed to do the right thing by stepping up and being like, look, don't defend me. It was a shitty comment. It's a dumb thing to say. I shouldn't have said it. I'm sorry. She does that. Then, 2 hours later, she's blaming it on Ambien. Then 2 hours after that, she's retweeting people who are defending her and attacking Valerie Jarrett. So it's just such a slimy, you know what I mean? I hate it when people get caught saying stupid shit like this and they give these fake ass apologies like they're gonna change because of it. I'm so sorry that I was insensitive. I will never refer to a black person as an ape again. Sure. It's just so stupid. Stupid ass insincere bullshit. Of course it reflects on ABC. It's the star of their number one property. Of course it reflects on ABC. I mean, people defending Roseanne in this instance are just stupid. I've seen people crying freedom of speech and shit, especially on the right. You know, like, the liberals just want to silence all the conservative voices, blah, 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 blah. So they're all very, very anti-censorship when it behooves them. Of course, when the NFL is telling, football players that they can no longer kneel during the anthem in a exercise of their freedom of expression, they're fine with that. They think that's a good decision. But ABC pulling Roseanne for stupid racist bullshit, now that's an infringement of free speech. It's just the hypocrisy and the silliness in this society. Just so blatant and so obvious. It's not even like, hidden hypocrisy. It's not even an undercurrent of hypocrisy. It's just naked, open hypocrisy. If it wasn't such a waste of time, I bet you could go find some of these people that were tweeting about how Roseanne's fucking freedom of speech was violated, doing a fucking end zone dance because the NFL players had theirs violated, quote unquote. I don't think that theirs was violated either. But it's just stupid. Yeah. I mean, freedom of speech is a very, very easy to define thing in my mind. You know, we've talked about it quite often because it just keeps coming up. It's kind of a hot button topic on all sides of the political spectrum. People seem to be advocating for freedom of speech, but when I go and look at what they're talking about, oftentimes I don't find a violation of anybody's freedom of speech. A violation of someone's freedom of speech is silencing them from saying what they want to say. Taking Roseanne's ABC show away doesn't stop her from calling Valerie Jarrett an ape. It doesn't stop her from saying she looks like a cross between, the Planet of the Apes and the Muslim Brotherhood. It just stops her doing that as an employee of ABC. She can still grab a soapbox and step out, on the front lawn of her fucking palatial estate. She can still go on Twitter and be a racist. She can still go on her Facebook and be a racist. She can still make videos and put them up on YouTube. There's soft racism. She can still do all of that. So her freedom of speech was not trampled on. The only way you can trample on someone's freedom of speech is if you prevent them from talking or put a series of consequences that are life-threatening or life-ruining as, like a fucking... like blackmail. Like those types of things are violations of someone's freedom of speech. Getting fired for being a stupid ass is not a violation of your freedom of speech. Nor is ABC a venue for your freedom of speech. That's why you have a script in front of you, dipshit. But that's absolutely true. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequence. It does not mean freedom from contrary opinion. And it doesn't mean that you're entitled to a platform or a megaphone. I really don't see how it was racist. She seemed to be saying that the woman looked like an actor in Planet of the Apes makeup, not that she was an ape. Maybe I'm wrong. Are you serious, dude? Do I really gotta draw this out? Alright, let's do it. Because apparently I gotta draw this out. Here we go. Here you go. Here is one of the actors from the Planet of the Apes in full makeup. They look monkeyish, and the implication of Roseanne Barr saying that Valerie Jarrett looks like this is that she looks like a monkey. Historically, black people have been compared to monkeys due to their different skin tone. Ergo, calling a black person the spawn of the Muslim Brotherhood and the Planet of the Apes is clearly dog whistling racism. Clearly meant to be a wink and a nod to the people out there that like to say that black people are monkeys under their breath and behind fucking closed doors and shit. And there really is no argument. No argument. But we are all descendants of apes, yeah, but we're no longer apes. We're not great apes anymore. We're human beings. There is a distinction. And calling someone an ape implies primitivism. It implies a lower intellect. It implies a lower sense of good and bad and right and wrong. It implies a lack of morality, a lack of character. That's why that's why the comparison took root. Maybe she thought it would be overlooked. Was she that dumb? I mean, if that went through her head, then yes, she is that dumb. But people like Roseanne don't tweet anything lest they want people to read it. So this was 100% dog whistling. This was Roseanne riding high on the tide of her own success. She's got this super popular right-wing comedy show. She's got all these people tweeting all this type of shit at her all the time, and she probably felt emboldened by her position. Now she's a conservative figure. Now she's taken seriously by people on the political right. Now she's got all these fans, once again, tweeting all this type of shit at her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that part of her felt emboldened by that. She felt like she was on top of the world. She felt like nobody could touch her. And she went on Twitter and made a post that she hoped would get retweeted a bunch of times, and it did. And she got what she wished for. Oh, we're still great apes. Go fuck a gorilla and show me your half gorilla, half human baby then. Do me a favor, Light Yagami. Go pork a monkey and create a half chimp, half Light Yagami retard. Show me a picture of it and I will take back my statement. Till then, though, shut the fuck up. Exactly. We are distinguished from the great apes. Just like a chimp is not the same thing as a fucking gorilla. It's like a hedgehog is not the same thing as a whale. Now, we have a common ancestor with the great apes, but that doesn't mean that we are them. We're clearly a different species. Had sex with gorilla yesterday? No, you didn't. No, you didn't, because you wouldn't be talking. You'd be in a hospital bed. Gorilla likes it rough. Is Helena Bonham Carter's character that looks a little like her? John Cena has always looked kind of chimpish to me. Yeah, that's fine. Context matters, folks. Context matters. Humans closer to chimps than horses and donkeys. Sure. The Roseanne reboot was pretty fair to both sides. If anything, Roseanne's depiction of a right-wing character seems satirical, even if she wasn't conscious of it. Well, apparently it wasn't much satire. There wasn't much satire going on. People are forgetting the Muslim Brotherhood part. So, like, really, this is the hill you guys are going to die on? This is the one, huh? Roseanne Barr tweets about a black woman looking like the offspring of the Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes. And you're actually, as a grown-ass adult, going to sit in my chat and try and make an argument that that wasn't racist dog whistling. What the fuck have we come to, man? Like, what the fuck have we come to? This is the hill you're going to die on. This is the person you're going to step in for. So stupid. I mean, everybody cares about this tweet, obviously. It's the only thing on the news. It's the top goddamn story on the news everywhere. Polar bears and grizzly bears can make fertile offspring. In theory, humans and chimps can make a hybrid that's probably fertile too. Okay. All right. Well, once again, get out there and fucking bust a nut in a chimp. Get on it, man. Show me the proof of your theorem. Get out there and pork a chimp. Get a nice little hybrid chimp baby. And come in here and I'll be the first one to defend Roseanne, okay? I don't give a fuck if chimps are gross. Get in there and fuck one. Use a turkey baster. I don't care. Jizz into a cup and then turkey baste it into the chimp. I don't give a fuck. Just make me a half chimp, half human. Let's see it. We have replaced Roseanne with a new Fallout game. Okay. Well, not really. See, nerds care about the Fallout game, but the world at large is still talking about nothing but Roseanne Barr. I picked up There Will Be Blood today. If I like it, what other movies do you recommend? If you like There Will Be Blood, then watch all of Paul Thomas Anderson's films. Boogie Nights, The Master. Just kind of go through the list, because P.T. Anderson has a very particular way of presenting a character that carries across different times and different places. He's just a really masterful filmmaker. So if you end up liking There Will Be Blood, check out P.T. Anderson's other work. You will probably enjoy it as well. I don't have anything to say about Roseanne. I've said my piece, Paul. She's dog shit, yeah. Just out of curiosity, I did some Googling. We are still considered primates, and we're still listed under the ape category in Wikipedia and in some museums, so there's that. I mean, I'm fine. Look, I never denied that we share a common ancestor with monkeys and apes. I never denied that we're part of that fucking biological tree. I just denied that we're the same as them. I just denied that people can make fucking comparisons of black people to monkeys without being aware of the context. I know it's a stupid... I mean, like, what am I going to do, though? I mean, this whole show is conversation with the chat. And there are people, there are people out there that want to fucking make this like an exercise in trying to justify Roseanne's stupid bullshit. And it's like... But Paul will still monkeys. We're monkeys, man. Of course she knew what she was doing. She's a fucking grown-up. She understands context. She clearly understands racist dog whistling, as when ABC hired her, they made her remove a bunch of fucking tweets. I wish we could see a list of those. This is not just like an innocent, I popped an Ambien and I made an unfortunate comparison. Nope. Sorry. Don't believe you. Oh my God, man. I mean, I've heard almost every possible excuse for Roseanne just today from pedantic shitheels in the fucking comments. All right, Taylor Wayne, you've been acknowledged. We all knew she was tactless and fucked up. What's the story here anyways? You tell me. I didn't bring this up. The chat brought this up. We're having this conversation because this is what you guys are talking about. I'm not the one that came in here wanting to talk about Roseanne. I did that already today. You'll see it on Flash Fried. This is the chat's choice, not mine. Maybe the Ambien is causing the chat to want to talk about this stupid non-story. Because I got to be honest with you, man, outside of the context of people trying to defend it like it wasn't racist dog whistling, I couldn't give a fuck about Roseanne. I couldn't give a fuck about... I swear to God, if the American Broadcasting Company disappeared off the face of the planet tomorrow, I would never know about it if nobody told me about it. I don't watch network TV. I don't know who the fuck does. I don't know how an entire industry still exists around network TV. I don't know if it's old people that are watching it. It must be crusty old people with fucking tube TVs sitting there, black and white TVs with a pair of rabbit ears on top of it, watching Roseanne. Like, who's watching this? Who's tuning into ABC to watch this stupid shit? Who's watching anything on network TV? I haven't watched network TV in probably 5 or 6 years. Maybe even longer. It has been that long since I have sat down in front of a television and just flipped through the channels. I just don't do that. And I'm pretty sure most people don't do that. So, fuck ABC. Fuck Roseanne. Fuck her shitty show. I'm glad it's gone. I hope she never recovers from this. I hope she disappears into obscurity. I hope ABC never recovers from it either. I hope they disappear into obscurity. I hope I never have to hear another news story about Roseanne fucking Barr as long as I live. Fuck her. Fuck the platform she was on. Fuck her stupid show. Fuck anybody defending her. I mean, Netflix, YouTube, if you've got Amazon Prime, I mean, there's so many ways to get TV shows and movies and music now that why would you ever just turn on your television? Let's see what's on. Like, the concept of allowing some TV programmer to pick what you watch and when is so antithetical to modern life and the way that we consume entertainment that I don't even know why it's still around. Let's just turn on the TV and see what somebody else thinks I want to be watching at this time of day. Fuck that. Why? Yeah. It's a dying business for sure. Definitely a dying business. Still get more views than DFF. Boom, pwned, mic drop. Shit, man. I got no comeback to that. I got no comeback to that. Do I think Roseanne is racist? Yes. Yes. I think Roseanne is racist. I think it's obvious that Roseanne is a racist. No, this is just some, this is a playlist of classical music. Bacon and classical music, yeah. I don't think she's racist. I think she just said something outlandish and it came out in the worst way. All right. Well, that's fine. The people that I know that are not racist don't spend their time dog whistling racism on Twitter, but whatever. Like, nobody can know her heart of hearts, so you want to stand by Roseanne, go right ahead, dude. Doesn't racism require belief that one's life is literally worth more than another? I think it requires that, not just a dislike of another race. What do you think calling another race an ape implies? I'll wait. Go ahead. What do you think calling a black person an ape implies? What do you think the implication of that statement is? Go ahead. I'll let you try and come to this realization yourself. I'm going to read your question again. Doesn't racism require belief that one's life is literally worth more than another? Okie doke. What is calling a black person a monkey? What does comparing a black person to an ape imply? It implies they share a common ancestor. Okay. I'm making an inference based on my fucking knowledge and experience. I'm not presupposing anything. Roseanne Barr isn't going to come out, nor is any other racist, well, almost any other racist, going to come out and say, yep, I'm a racist. But you know what? My point still stands. The people that I know that are not racists don't spend their time on Twitter dog whistling racism and comparing black people to the Planet of the Apes. If she wasn't a racist, she wouldn't be making those statements. If she wasn't a racist, she would take issue with Valerie Jarrett's fucking politics and refute her on that. She wouldn't stoop to the point of saying that she looks like a Muslim fucked somebody from Planet of the Apes. Period. If my video is skipping a lot, it is likely your internet to blame. I have dropped 0 frames today. I'm looking at it right in front of my face. So more than likely it is your internet that is being poopy. Ooh, I like this piece of music. Danse macabre. This is a great song. All right. I have to turn this down because I won't be able to pay attention to anything else while this is on. Gotta turn it down for myself, at least. I really love this song. Play devil's advocate because I want to hear you answer. TJ makes a lot of edgy jokes involving race. What makes that different? The intent. TJ, to my knowledge, has never just come out and been like, yeah, this black person here looks like came from the planet of the apes. Now, if you can find TJ making that, then I'll I'll address it. But let's be honest here. There is a very, very easily definable difference between an edgy joke and dog whistling racist bullshit. Do I think Trump is a racist? Absolutely. For example, yesterday I did a stream where I said the word nigger probably, I don't know, contextually 5 or 6 times. Now, there's a difference between having a contextual conversation or making an edgy joke that uses the word and going on Twitter and going, Valerie Jarrett looks like a dumb nigger. That's not an edgy joke. Which race is Trump racist against exactly? I mean, he's certainly spent most of his time, like he talked about. Let's see, what statements has Trump made that would lead me down the rabbit hole of thinking he might be a racist? How about Mexico is sending all of its, the Mexicans that are here illegally are rapists and murderers? Maybe some of them are good people, but they're not, they're rapists and murderers. How about that court case that he was involved in where he had a Hispanic judge and he claimed that judge was incapable of giving him a fair trial due to his race? How about the fact that Trump has tons and tons of white nationalist support? You think that just happens by accident? You think they just all picked the big orange buffoon? You think the white nationalists were just like, yeah, we like this big orange buffoon dude? No, I don't think so. Yeah, Charlottesville. Good people on both sides, or bad people on both sides. Yeah. I mean, Trump has spent most of his political career, which really started in earnest with this last election season, being dog whistling racism and garnering support. Do I think everybody has implicit bias? Yes. I think that, now, I won't speak for everybody, but I will speak for myself. I'll be honest. There is an undercurrent of racism in my subconscious. I was raised around a lot of it, and I am sure that walking into a room full of black people would be an uncomfortable thing for me. Like walking into a fucking crowded room filled with nothing but black dudes or some shit. There would probably be a part of me, because of how I was raised, that would feel uncomfortable about that. I'm just intelligent enough to know that those things aren't rooted in truth. And that's the honest truth. Now, you won't hear many people being honest about things like that, but I think that honesty is part of how this conversation needs to happen. And the truth of it is, I was raised with a racist tinge, and I still react that way sometimes. Like I said, subconsciously. I just have a facility in my mind that can examine those subconscious feelings that come up when I'm presented with somebody of the opposite race. That desire to blame their race, like my parents did when I was young. And I'm able to filter that because I realize that it's not rooted in truth, it's rooted in ignorance. That doesn't mean I don't still have the fucking feelings. You know, I mean, I grew up in a household where I'd hear those comments offhand from my parents. I'd hear those comments offhand from my parents' friends. I grew up making those comments offhand as a young man. I've said some pretty racist bullshit. And the way that I try and deal with that part of my past is to go forward and not be that asshole. And I don't. Now, Roseanne Barr's got 20 or 30 years on me. She got no fucking excuse. You're admitting too much? All right, well, honesty is, like I said, I feel that this conversation about race requires it. I've had things in my past that have caused, even outside of the racism, that have caused a sense of bias in my mind when it comes to black people. I was the victim of a violent crime at the hands of two young black men. That sort of thing happening when you already have a background of kind of implicit racism in your upbringing can cause you to go down some rabbit holes. And mentally it did for me for some time. I was 16 years old when that happened. And there was a part of me that hated black people after that, didn't want to be around them, was afraid of them. And that part of me was slowly but surely burnt out of me by a mind that questions stupidity. What happened? I've told this story a million times, but I was carjacked, held at gunpoint, kidnapped, driven several miles outside of town, and dumped naked in a field by two young black men. One of them was 14 years old, and one of them was 17 years old at the time of the crime. Both of them went to prison. I was 16 years old. Why was I naked? Because when they got me out in the middle of the country, they made me get out of the car, pointed the gun at me, and told me to strip my clothes off and throw them into the car. I think they figured that it would give them time to get away because I would be ashamed to try and find help while I was naked or something, that it would hinder me in getting where I needed to go to get help. They were caught, charged, and sentenced, both of them. How were they caught? Well, they dumped me in the middle of an agricultural area in the Central Valley, about 25 miles outside of Fresno, north of Fresno. There's nothing but farmland out there. They dumped me in the middle of a field and left me out there. It was November, so it was very, very cold. And they drove off in my car. I made my way towards the only source of unnatural light that I could see anywhere around me, which turned out to be a farmhouse that was about 2.5 miles from where they dumped me. So I walked barefoot across an untilled field, shredded my feet, made my way to a farmhouse, knocked on the door, was told by the owner of the farmhouse to get the fuck off of his porch. Went and sat down at the end of the driveway until the sheriff's deputy came to pick me up. When the sheriff showed up, he thought I was on drugs. He thought I had, gone on a drug bender and wandered out into the middle of nowhere. And it took me a few minutes to explain to him what had happened. When I did, he called in an APB. As I was on my way back into Fresno, in the back of the sheriff's car, the guys were seen in downtown Fresno driving my car with their ski masks still on. They passed a cop, and the cop saw them in their ski masks, saw the make and model of the car, and tried to pull them over. They decided that they were going to run from the police in my shitty little 1981 Ford Tempo, and that didn't work out. So they were caught. The youngest of them, the 14-year-old, was sentenced to a juvenile facility and is no longer incarcerated on my charge. And the eldest was sentenced as an adult and may still be in prison. I'm not sure. I felt vengeful, yes. I felt angry. I felt a sense of hatred. Yeah, very much. They wrecked my car, so no, I didn't get my car back. They drove my car down Highway 99 in California towards my hometown of Madera from Fresno, reached Avenue 12, the off-ramp to Avenue 12, which is an off-ramp that I've taken a million fucking times. Started to go up the off-ramp and then decided against it at the last second and drove my car off of the off-ramp and head first into the ground, and then got out of the car and tried to run. Did you think they were going to rape you when they made you take your clothes off? Yes. Yes, I have PTSD from this. See ya, Coolman. Have a good one. Should have just drove off when you saw them. My car wasn't started and I wasn't driving when I saw them. I was sitting out in front of my dad's house, smoking a cigarette and listening to my car stereo. And they walked up on me. So I never had a chance to drive away. I think you are lying. Well, that's your prerogative, I guess. How can you not know if he's still in jail? Fake Sagan said you go to their parole hearings every year to keep them there, right? Yeah, I sure do. No. I received 2 or 3 parole notices and never attended any of them. It's not up to me to decide whether or not he deserves to be in jail. That's not my job. I mean, not only that, but somebody, like, if you wanted to really check my fucking story, you could find the story about it in the Fresno Bee, if you went back and looked at the archives and shit. Like, if anybody was really interested in, verifying whether or not I'm telling the truth, all they'd have to do is go look at the Fresno Bee in 1996, in November. They'd find a story about this. There was TV news stories about it, too. Pictures of my Ford Tempo sitting there wrecked with the doors open, shit strewn everywhere. There was a tampon, actually. This was a funny part of it that I always forget to tell in this story. I had a friend in high school who hung a tampon from my rearview mirror one day, and I thought it was funny, so I left it there. And in the news story, they showed a picture of my car wrecked out, and the tampon was still hanging from the mirror. So, yeah. Yeah, that's always a great part of the story, too. I did a phone interview with the news media, the Fresno Bee, about this. I asked them not to give my name, and they couldn't because I was underage. But I told them about it. I told them the story, and part of the story was they wanted me to get in the trunk. When they first walked up on me, they made me get out of the car and pop my trunk, and they wanted me to get in the trunk so they could do whatever. I mean, thank goodness I wasn't able to get in there. I had two big speaker racks back there that I'd bought with the money for my first ever job. I had a really nice sound system, two big subwoofers, tiny little trunk. And so when I popped the trunk and they told me to jump in, I asked them if I wanted, if they wanted me to take the fucking speakers out, because there's no way I was going to fit back there. And so instead of having to make that ride in the trunk, I got to sit in the back seat with one of them with a gun to my head. But I told the news media, they tried to put me in the trunk, but I wouldn't fit, and that's how they printed it. So made it seem like I was just too fat to get in the trunk. I did get my speakers back. Yeah, they didn't wreck those. This experience affected my view on everything. It changed my life, mostly for the negative. I started having anxiety attacks. I started having like full-blown panic attacks when I would ride in cars. It was a long time before I could go anywhere in a car at night. Yeah, it affected my whole life, changed the course of my entire life. 1996. Am I over the trauma? To the best extent I can be. I did 3.5 years of talk therapy about this. I've been medicated different ways. I still deal with it. You ever see Pulp Fiction before that happened, Paul? I had. I don't know if I saw it before this happened, but I've seen Pulp Fiction. No, I don't want anybody making a posse. Just stop. What are you usually doing if you're not doing anything related to the internet? I mean, a lot of my life revolves around the internet these days. I work here. A lot of my free time is spent watching something on the internet, movies, music. So it's hard to say. I mean, if I'm doing something that doesn't involve the internet, it's more than likely just conversing. That is my pastime, is conversation. I like having conversations with people. I like getting in long, involved discussions with people about things. So I would say that's the least internet dependent thing that I do. But I do a lot of that on the internet as well. Do you do anything outside? I'm not a real outdoorsman. I don't mind going outside. I like taking walks and stuff in nature, but I don't do it very often. I spend most of my time indoors. You ever regret how public your life is? Sometimes. There are times that I wish I would have been more guarded with my personality when I started this shit. Even way back in the day, that I had picked some cartoon character or something to represent me like a lot of people do. I've wished that sometimes, but I'll be honest with you. If you're going to live a life doing things on the internet, being open and honest about your life is a lot easier, and I think bears a lot more fruit for your arguments and stuff. When people know who you are, or at least are given a glimpse of who you are, I don't know. I think it engenders a little bit more loyalty in a fan base. That's just my personal feeling on it, though. It's worth the bullshit. Yeah, today's my first day of the diet. We're doing fine. You can do it. Yeah, well, I mean, the bacon is not necessarily off the table for me. So I can look at it and I can eat it. I was going to try and keep the diet that we're on secret, but I didn't run that by Ashley, and she's tweeted a bunch of times about the fact that I'm doing keto, so I guess I'll say I'm doing keto. I'm doing keto. So let's start with the unwarranted, unwanted, unsolicited advice about how keto is a horrible diet, how I'm not gonna fucking lose any weight on it, how it's just gonna be a horrible thing for me, blah blah blah. I've actually done keto before. The first time I did it, it was called the Atkins diet, and I did it back in like probably 2000, 2001, and lost about 50 pounds on it. So it definitely works. Once I've done it for a few days, I'm gonna get some keto strips. There are these little strips that you can pee on, and if they turn bright pink, it means you're in ketosis, which is a great way to keep yourself motivated to stay on the diet because you can actually see evidence that your body is burning fat. When you're in ketosis, your body is burning fat naturally and you're losing weight. So it's really, really super easy to tell that you're doing well. And keto is not really all that hard. It's not, I mean, the hardest part is giving up the breads and the sweet drinks and shit, right? But once you get past that, you're allowed to eat a lot of really good food. I can grill a mean steak, so, you know, we can do steaks every once in a while. Bacon, eggs, cheeses. You know, there's a ton of stuff, nuts and fruits and all that shit. We can eat all that shit. Well, I guess we can't eat fruits that have a ton of concentrated sugar in them, but vegetables for sure, yeah. Can't really have gravy, no. Unless you're talking about a gravy that's made without a flour base. You can't have anything with carbs. I'll be doing some exercise as well. Ashley has not revealed the exercise routine that I'll be taking because I haven't really shared much of it with her. So I won't be sharing that. I guess I'll have to suffer the slings and arrows of unsolicited advice about my diet, but my exercise routine will be my own. Beers have carbohydrates in them, so no, I can't have beers. I can't have alcohol at all. Alcohol turns into concentrated glucose. No beer, no alcohol, but that's fine. I'm not a big drinker. You know, keto is also a diet where you can cheat. Like when we go to LA, for example, obviously I'm going to be drinking in LA. There's just no, you know, at the meetup, people are going to hand me drinks constantly. That's just part of these meetups. You know, people want to meet you. They buy you a drink. They come over. Hey, Paul, bought you a drink. I'm going to drink. Now, what is that going to mean for my diet? Well, it's going to mean that I'm going to be out of ketosis for about 5 days. It's going to mean that amount of a setback for me. So as long as you understand what the cheat means, you can do it. You know, as long as you don't do it too often. You want to eat ice cream one night? You think it's worth 4 days of dieting without any results? Go for it. Vodka's low carb. Yeah, I mean, look, there, it's you're supposed to have a zero carb diet on keto. So even the minimal amount of carbs in vodka, if I drank a bunch of vodka drinks, I'm fucked. Alcohol is carbs. Yep, yep, yep. I love avocados, so I'll be eating a lot of those, I'm sure. There's tons of recipes that you can make. Like one of my favorite things in the world to eat is like roast beef with vegetables. We can do that. I just can't do like the potatoes. I can do celery in it. I can do carrots, onions, a nice big roast. Put it in the crock pot. That's a hearty meal. Can make some chili. What's my favorite vegetable? I like peppers a lot. Jalapeno peppers are some of my favorite things in the world to eat. Can I have cheese? Absolutely cheese. Chili with cheese. Cauliflower is not a good potato substitute. There is no such thing as a potato substitute. I hate these fucking I hate these recipes that are just like, yeah, you can have mashed potatoes, but just with cauliflower. And then you eat it and it just tastes like pureed cauliflower. And you're like, okay, this isn't mashed potatoes. This is just for people that are like dreaming of mashed potatoes all day, that want to pretend something is mashed potatoes. Keto's really not all that confusing at all. I mean, you just don't eat carbs. You don't drink sweet drinks. You don't eat bread. You don't eat potatoes. You don't fucking drink alcohol. You don't eat ice cream. You don't eat anything with sugar in it. You just eat meat and cheese and vegetables. And that's it. Yet another one of my super chats ignored. Sorry, man. Largest amount of legal tobacco you've had in possession? I have no fucking clue, dude. I have no fucking clue. I'm not particularly interested in going into depth about my drug history for $2, if you don't mind. Thanks, though. Just like, thanks, officer. Thanks, officer, for the question. No comment. Paul, you can't lose weight with just dieting. You need exercise too. I'm going to be exercising. I'm just not going to be sharing with you what my exercise routine is, because I don't want to hear, like I did last time I did this. Like, that was one of the most frustrating things about that weight loss challenge I did with Ben. I was feeling great, I was losing weight, and the entire world was just filled with people that wanted to tell me how I was doing everything wrong. And I'm just like, man, am I not a grown fucking man? Like, am I not seeing these results? Am I not feeling better? Am I not looking better? Are my clothes not fitting better? Does the weight on the scale not keep going down? It's just like, so this time, I'm talking about it here, but, this isn't going to be a major topic of conversation going forward, and I'm certainly not going to be sharing details about my regiment. Just going to lose the weight, going to do it on my own, The thought process, I think, when I did that last weight loss challenge was that, it was going to be helpful. And it was. I mean, there were some people out there that were like, oh, man, yeah, I'm doing this with you, Paul. I'm real proud of you. But those voices were drowned out in a sea of like, LOL, look at how Paul lifts. Oh, my God, he doesn't know how to do anything. Oh, my God, a guy Paul's size shouldn't be doing an hour on the elliptical. That's just asking for a fucking heart attack. Oh, my God, Paul's doing this wrong. Paul's doing that wrong. Oh, my fucking God, dude. Why do you even care if you're getting results? Well, I didn't. But like I said, I spend a significant amount of my life on the internet. And the last time I did one of these fucking attempts at weight loss, the internet was not helpful. The internet was trying desperately to be helpful, and in doing so was actually detrimental. So this time, nah. This time we'll just be doing it. Get out of here, James Jones. I'm just gonna dunk you. Like you're like not even. I'm not even timing you out. You're just gone. What a dipshit. See ya. My coughing scared your dog. Sorry. Sorry, didn't mean to scare your puppo. What did James say? Something about how legitimate advice is concern trolling or something. Holy shit. It's like on the internet, there's this like parental shit that goes on the internet. And I know I've bitched about it before, but fuck you guys, I'm bitching about it again. There's like this like it's almost like people want their counsel to be taken seriously and they need it, and nobody does that in their personal lives, so they go on the internet and pretend to be experts about shit. And when you don't take their advice, they get pissed. Like you're not a 38-year-old man capable of making your own fucking decisions. It's like they're disappointed parents when you don't do what they tell you to do. Like at what point, like how sad is your fucking life? Nobody ever takes your advice. Nobody hears or heeds your counsel in your personal life. You know why? It's because you have nothing of value to give them. The answer to that is not to go on the internet and pretend you know something that you don't, or pretend you know about a person's fucking life when you don't. The answer to that is to go learn something so that your advice will be heeded, so that you have a little bit of credibility, so people will listen to you when they give you advice. Then people will seek that advice out. You won't have to be giving it for free in my chat, you see? If you had advice that was worthy of being given, you'd have a business built around giving that advice, and you wouldn't be doing it for free in my chat. Would you? I don't know. I don't know when this whole parental thing on the internet started. I don't know why it started, but it's definitely something that I hope goes away. This idea that a fucking grown adult who puts themselves out there on the internet should be subject to a constant barrage of shitty fucking advice about what they should be doing. Holy fuck, man. It happens in my real life too. My family preach shit like don't walk with Yeah, but that's your family's job. See, the internet, you guys aren't my family. I expect my mom and my sisters to be like, oh, Peaches, watch what you're eating. I'm worried about your weight or whatever. But even they don't do that shit. Like, I've been fat long enough that when I go see my mom or my sister, it's, you know, I don't get the lecture from them. So it's just like, even my fucking mom has given up on this shit and realized that I'm a man that's going to make my own fucking decisions. Why can't you guys get there? Where who pay you? All right, so let's say you got a job at the 7-Eleven. How beholden do you feel to the people that come in and get a fucking big gulp? Let's be honest, dude. Just be honest with me. Now, I appreciate the people that watch me. I realize that my life and the job that I have wouldn't be possible. But this idea that because you give me $5 a month, that makes you have wise counsel for what I should be doing in my private life? What a silly notion. Yeah. I don't remember that being part of the Patreon goal. I don't remember your $5 buying you access to be my fucking daddy on the internet and tell me what I should be eating and when I should be going to bed and shit. Yeah, I don't remember that being part of the buffet. I remember the buffet being a bunch of content that I make for you. Not the other way around. But whatever. Maybe I misread the perk level. Yeah, the fine print. Even though I wrote the perk, I guess I missed it. The Oreo diet. I bet that would work. I bet if I limited myself to like 4 Oreos a day and nothing else, I'd lose weight hella fast. You can diet on any food. It's just it's about the amount of calories that you take in versus the amount of calories that you burn. So you could do the Oreo diet if you wanted. Just eat your allotted calories worth of Oreos every day. 5 or 6 Oreos. Boom, you're done for the day. You probably die. I mean, yeah, you probably wouldn't be the most healthy dude on the planet, but you would lose weight. If your goal is just to lose weight, Oreos would not sustain you. Yes, they would. People ate sawdust for months and months and months during wars in the past. You're going to tell me that they wouldn't have traded their sawdust hamburger for a fucking Oreo? Are you retarded? Yeah, Oreos can sustain you just fine. Now, not very healthily, but neither does fucking sawdust. Make an impassioned speech to this. Okay. You ask, what is our aim? Oh, damn, I gotta start this over. Here, let's start it over. Here we go. You ask, what is our aim? I can answer in one word. Victory. Victory at all costs. Victory in spite of all terror. Victory, however long and hard the road may be. For without victory, there is no survival. The House of Lords regards all our liberties and political rights as enjoyed and enjoyable only so long as they choose to let us go on having them. But once we touch reality, once we touch their interests and privileges, out! We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and the oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. There you go. There we go. Yeah, dude, the Hall of the Mountain King, dude. Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm sneaking in to steal the dragon's treasure from Mount whatever the fuck it was in The Hobbit. All right, here comes the drop. Yeah. Holy shit. Man. You telling me that, like, metal is a new thing? Nah. That's some rock right there, man. That's total rock and roll. Total rock and roll, dude. Fantastic. I think I did scare Dinor. Where you at, buddy? Come here. It's fine. I wasn't yelling at you. I was just rocking out. I was just rocking out with my cock out. I was just rocking. You ain't gotta be scared. Yeah, maybe this is why all my pets are so crazy. They gotta listen to all my ranting and raving. No, he's fine. Dinor's fine. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's fine. I know, now every time Dinor hears the Hall of the Mountain King, he's just gonna go cower in the corner. I ruined it. I ruined it for him. Anyone die lately? Nope. No, not that I know of. You have your eye on any new video games? Nope. Not really. The song is I don't know how to pronounce it, dude. Gymnopedy number 2. Gymnopedy? Who fucking knows? Here you go. There you go. I just put it in the chat for you. There's a cool looking Warhammer 4X game coming out this year. Whatever. I mean, I don't really follow games anymore. When one comes out that I want to play, I usually just wait until it's really cheap and pick it up if I want to. And I don't know. There are very few game franchises that get me, to buy their games day one. I'd say like Rockstar Games is pretty much the only company that has that privilege. Maybe Blizzard. Rockstar and Blizzard seem to be the AAA for me because I feel like everything that they release turns to gold. Yeah, I'm still into Elite. I actually sold my ship last night and bought a combat ship. So I wanted to try out some bounty hunting, so I got myself a badass vulture to go kill things and stuff. Yeah. Are you excited for Red Dead Redemption 2? Yeah, Red Dead Redemption is one of my favorite video games of all time. It would definitely be in the top 5. It might even, be real close to the top spot. Just a fantastic game. Very few games make me want to complete them 100% the way that Red Dead Redemption did, but there was not one thing in that game that I didn't do. I wanted to see everything that there was to see. I wanted to do all of the side stuff. I wanted to have all the extra stuff, all the outfits, and all the craziness. It was just a great game. I'm not excited at all for Fallout. I don't get excited for the Fallout franchise or Bethesda releases anymore. I mean, yeah, I can't really afford a Fair Lance, so I got myself a Vulture. I put 2 big-ass pulse lasers on it, loaded it up with shield boosters and hull reinforcements, and I'm ready to fucking rock, dude. I'm ready to blow some people up and get their bounties. I tried that game when I loaded it up and tried it. I invariably ended up spinning in circles. Yeah, it's a tough game. I mean, especially if you've never played like a flight sim before, it can be really, really tough to get your head around how things move. But once you get it, it's actually it's really rewarding to be able to do the simple stuff in a game like Elite Dangerous, because the simple stuff requires a lot of skill. So once you've got the skill to do it, it feels really, I don't know, maybe eventually when I'm playing I won't feel as accomplished when I stick a landing, but just being able to navigate to a space station, fly through the mail slot in it, and land on one of the rotating platforms, that takes, a certain amount of skill and game knowledge, and every time I do it I feel a sense of accomplishment. I've never tried Star Citizen, no. Is a joystick required? I mean, for me it is. I know that there are people out there that play really, really well with just a keyboard and mouse or a controller. I guess those are all viable, but for me, I wouldn't want to play the game if I didn't have my keyboard and mouse set up. Or my joystick and throttle. I mean, I might do a Dark Souls run through with you guys, or at least an attempt at one, to show you the level of fucking frustration that game puts me through. Can you get out of a Chinese finger trap? Of course. What kid doesn't know how to get out of one of those? I played the first Elite back in the day, mostly harmless, I guess. I remember lining up. The dock was often the earliest challenge, yeah. Yeah. Just landing your ship, piloting it correctly. All of that is, you gotta spend some time with the game before you can do it. And it feels really good once you get to the point where you can. Nah, I'd call the series Salt Souls. Yeah, Dark Souls is I don't know. Whatever. I know people are into it. It's not my cup of tea. A little too frustrating, a little too tedious, a little too fucking trial and error. Yeah. I could get the fat onion knight guy's armor or whatever, where that onion dude is. I could beat his ass and steal his armor. Cool. Zelda Breath of the Wild would be a good game for you, though. It's tough but relaxing. Yeah, I watched Ashley play it. I feel like I've seen enough of Zelda. I mean, I love Zelda, but I just don't have the time. You know, if I'm going to be playing video games, I usually have to pick one to focus on. And Zelda looks like it'd take a lot of my time. I still love the series. I really enjoyed watching Ashley play through it, so it looks pretty cool, but I doubt I'll ever play it. Oblivion's probably my least favorite of the modern Elder Scrolls games. I don't know. It just felt generic in a way that the other two didn't. Morrowind felt like this really new, kind of fresh take on a fantasy environment. And Skyrim, once again, also with the Viking kind of tinge to everything, it had a different feel, but I don't know. Oblivion just felt like, well, it felt like this music that's playing in the background, honestly. Just generic medieval fantasy realm. Hello, squire. Grab yourself a horse and arm yourself to the teeth, for the forces of evil are descending upon the realm. It's like, oh. I don't know, I just didn't like the setting for it. Lo, it is time for the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Cyrodiil, land of draft horses and bowl haircuts. You might see a ruffian having drunk too much ale, lying in a puddle of his own filth on the sidewalk. These things happened in medieval old Cyrodiil. That's right. That's right. Step right up. Don't be shy. Watch the knights joust. Which knight will earn the lady's favor tonight? The choice is up to you, the fans. Cyrodiil. Welcome to the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Hello, squire. Why, you seem to be lost. Be careful. There are many bandits, rogues, and thieves along the highways of Cyrodiil. But as you go from sleepy little medieval hamlet to sleepy little medieval hamlet, you yourself will start to feel sleepy. We should have called this the Elder Scrolls Oblivion of Sleep. That's right. The sweet, sweet oblivion of sleep will chase you. All right, that's enough of that. What medieval weapon would I choose? I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe like a big mace. I always like maces in games, like a big two-handed mace. Yeah. Yeah. Just want to beat people to a pulp with a big mace. A Shugoki? What the fuck is that, man? What the fuck is that, man? This picture looks like a heart attack. It is a heart attack waiting to happen. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream now. Thank you guys for chilling. Catch you next time, yeah?